Hi, so here's a video about how to use our new email waterfall. So the whole idea of this is one, to maximize coverage so we're able to get as many valid emails from any list that we have as we can, and two, to minimize costs while doing that. So I'll explain a little bit how it works. So currently it's a group in our templates in our workspace. You can probably get this from whatever workspace you're working in. So I've called it's here. It's called email waterfall data clean, then add to instantly. So what I've done is I've packaged together everything. So you can add this to a table whether you're finding people within Clear, or you can add this if to a table where you might already have an email, well, like an Apollo list or a third-party data list. The idea is we can use this for every single table pretty much. Maybe I'll create an actual, just a table that has this in and you duplicate the table, but for now it's just a group. And then it also will clean the data, so things like first name normalization, company name, job title normalization, and then add to instantly with all the fields that we want. So you can pretty much add this to any table that you're wanting to find, validate, and then send emails with. It'll be the final thing. And then it also has columns for querying our database, which is in Superbase, and sending valid emails to the database as well to maintain that. So we've got this database now in Superbase, which contains all the valid emails that we've ever got. And this just means that we're not having to always find new work emails every time we have a new table, because there will be a lot of duplicates in a lot of these tables, so we can query that first. So when you add it in, it'll just let's come off this. It'll start off. It'll start off with, it'll start from here. So if you do already have an email for the list that you're working with, you can map that to this column here. Then the next step is it'll check the Superbase. So I've currently got it set to querying the Superbase with LinkedIn URL, because we have a column for that in the Superbase, and you may have LinkedIn URL for the prospects already. I think another thing we can do is query it by email. I'm not sure, I haven't really tested this properly yet, but say you're starting off with an email, one way of validating that email could be querying our database using the email that you've got, seeing if that email is in our database, because if it's in our database, that means it's already been validated. But if you don't have an email, you may have just a LinkedIn URL or a company domain or company URL, any LinkedIn company URL, any of these other things. We could also query the database with those other things and get all the valid emails from that company or from that full name of a person or anything like that, and then we can see if it's the right contacts, for example. I haven't played around too much with this. Maybe you could add multiple parameters and it'll search them all, or maybe you have to duplicate the column. I haven't looked too much into that yet, but this just allows us to search our database for valid emails, and you can query it in different ways using this query parameter here. Then if we don't find a valid email within our database, we'll just use lead magic to validate the email that we've started with. So if it's from Apollo, we just validate it using lead magic, pretty standard. But if you don't have one, of course, you just skip that. Then it's just a normal email waterfall. Uses find kit first because good coverage and the cheapest. Then lead magic, then ICPs, Prospeo, and Wiser. You may notice Wiser is in this one, but it's not in all of them, because Wiser is super expensive and it's got such massive coverage that it will find loads of emails and it'll charge us 2 credits per find. So I've built a group, one that includes Wiser, one that doesn't. So if we don't have loads of credits, just use the normal one without Wiser. If we have a bunch of credits that we need to use up, or it's like a really important list and we really want to get maximum coverage, use the one with Wiser. It is worth noting how you're gonna need to like, oh no, I have fixed that now actually. But you may just need to check before you run it. Is it using credits? Because I've got Prospio and ICPs set to using credits, but they don't find that many. So even in a massive list, it really doesn't find that many. So it's not too big of a deal. But when you're using it with different workspaces, check that we've got the right API keys for like Kit and Lead Magic in place. You might just need to double check that. Then what it does, it gets the waterfall from here. It'll validate it using Lead Magic, but there's a few conditions that I've got in here. So Kit, if it says that it's a valid one, I've noticed that it's definitely valid. So if Kit says it's valid, I don't then revalidate it. If Lead Magic says it's valid, I don't then re-verify it because that's very accurate. But if Kit doesn't say it's verified, sometimes it just says null or false, then I'll verify it. Or if Lead Magic says it's a valid catch-all, I will verify it with Instantly, because Instantly is able to pick up which catch-alls are good to send to. But if ICPs, Prospio or Wiser finds one, I'll validate it with Lead Magic first, just because Lead Magic's a lot cheaper to verify it with, and it'll give us the MX records. So we can get that. But even if Lead Magic says it's invalid, I'll validate it with Instantly, just because Lead Magic is quite strict, and when you're just using Lead Magic's validate email, if it's a valid catch-all, it'll say invalid, but Instantly will tell us whether some of them valid catch-alls you're able to send to, so we'll revalidate it with Instantly. But if Lead Magic says that it is valid, then it will be valid, so we don't re-verify it with Instantly. So I've just been messing around with this, different conditions, just to optimize it all to minimize costs. So then, if it finds valid, it spits it out here. Valid email with the MX records here. It'll then clean the data, so normalize first name, company name, and job title, and then it will add to Instantly. I've currently got this set to not auto run because I don't want to push that, so make sure you check everything first, and then it'll post the valid email to the database as well. This is also not on auto run, just need to make sure everything's working first. I think the main things that you should look out for is making sure, say, all the right API keys are working. We've got connections to our Lead Magic account and our Instantly account. Instantly is not set to auto bill. I've currently got it set to, it's coming out of one of our clients' credits, but we will need to change that across to our account and buy credits on there. So just check that everything's working, scroll down to the bottom, make sure that everything's just running as it should do, and then you should be good to go. But then, yeah, just make sure you clean up like the add to Instantly, change what campaign you need, everything like that. But yeah, that's how it works. Let me know if you got any questions.